You guys are annoying. I can see that.
Yeah. Does anyone else kind of hate these guys?
I get that once in a while too.
Yeah.
You guys need to STFU. I already know my alphabet, so I'm not really.
STFU?
Not really sure what
I
that
don't even know
means.
what that means.
Good evening and welcome to Simple Diversion. My name is Graham.
And my name is Rob.
And today we continue our quest on giving you videos for people on a budget. Last week we came out with a video about cigars on a budget. And this week we're going to be talking about best whiskey, American whiskey.
American whiskey.
That you can buy on a budget. We're aiming for about $30
Yep.
or less.
Now, because we have a different list. So I have my 5, Graham has his 5. I found my prices from Total Wine. I feel like that's a very nationwide store, so that's kind of where I went.
I do believe though it does differ state by state.
Okay.
So it's really still our local area.
We are in Wisconsin. Midwest is probably going to be similar. Down south, you might get some different prices.
I also took mine from Total Wine as well.
Okay.
Just remember too that these lists are subjective.
Yes.
They are our opinions. This isn't like facts on life or anything like that.
This is our favorite whiskey, American whiskey, on a budget under $30. It's not the best rated. It's not the the most sold whiskey.
It's best value for your buck, and things that we want to help you guys to be able to enjoy whiskey, but yet not spend a buttload of money on it. Right. So without further ado, let's get going.
All right, let's get going.
You want to go first, or should I?
I can go first.
Okay.
I would be honored. So my number 5 is Jefferson's Very Small Batch. Okay? Goes for about $28.99. It is 83 proof. On the palate, you'll get a lot of barnyard flavors, as well as peppered corn, and it's slightly honey. I really enjoy it. I've actually only had it a couple times, but that's definitely one I'd go to for something under $30.
I've never had that. Is it a normal size bottle?
I believe it is.
Because he says the very small batch.
Oh yeah. I believe it's the 750. I was trying to make sure I checked that out, but yeah, I don't know why they call it a very small batch. I also like the Jefferson's Ocean and the Reserve and all that too. So Jefferson's is a very well known company or distillery, and if you haven't tried any Jefferson's, I would actually start with the Jefferson's Very Small Batch. Why not?
My number 5 American whiskey on a budget.
I know this was gonna be
is Eagle Rare. I kicked around having it as an honorable mention, but we just have so much history, so many good times with Eagle Rare that it's got to be in my top 5. So here it sits at number 5. This is a Kentucky straight bourbon, and it is aged 10 years, which is great for a bourbon. Anything 10 years and above is pretty good. I've called it candy in a bottle before, but to give it some different adjectives, I would say it's dynamic and full of excitement.
Ooh.
With this, you're going to get hints of vanilla, strong, mature molasses, toffee, and it's just an overall. There's a lot there in this bottle, and it only costs $24.
Wow.
So this is good for beginners, but also good for just somebody that's on a budget. I enjoy drinking this on whenever, sipping on a dram, and I don't care if it's $24. I think the value is there. So go try this one.
Go get it. So my number 4, as you may see right here, is the Henry McKenna single barrel, and it's aged 10 years, which is also very good, just like the Eagle Rare. This is actually one of the bourbons I really like to drink with my cigars. It's usually the one that I kind of lean toward, along maybe with 1 or 2 others. But this is the one I usually, I'm having a stogie. I'm gonna see what you got here, and then I usually steal this from Graham. And
it's rough and tough, and I think that goes well with a stogie.
Exactly. I think it's awesome how they showed on the label when it's barreled and the barrel number. It's a very, very unique bottle.
It's almost like a guarantee too. Like the movie Tommy Boy, if anybody's seen that, where they put the guarantee on there to make you feel good and full of butterflies and everything. You see the date that it was barreled 10/22 of 07. It just, I don't know, something about it just makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, and because you have that specific date. Not that it means anything.
Right.
But it's fun.
Where were you on that date, actually?
07?
07.
I was working at Menards.
Wow.
No, I think I don't know.
I was a senior in high school.
I had a full-time job. It was my first full-time job, yeah.
I can usually find the Henry McKenna for about $28.99, $29.99, around that mark. I get on the nose a lot of vanilla, caramel, your typical honey and a bourbon. But on the palate, I actually get some dark fruits such as like figs, raisins. I also get like a big harmony of like vanilla and different spices. It's a very, very unique thing.
One thing I would throw in there too, I was waiting for you to say spice, and also I get like some oak in there too, that strong, tough
yeah. Oh
oak.
yeah.
All right, my number 4 is going to be Rowan's Creek. I'm not sure how well known this is.
Yeah.
I never heard anything about it until I saw it a couple times on the shelf, and I just figured I would try it. It was cheap. They don't put a lot of money into their marketing from the label that I see here, or they just like the simple look and they don't care. It's just not very catchy, but at the same time, it kind of does bring you in because it's like I don't need to show off with a big label. I got the good stuff inside.
Kind of reminds me of something if you go in a saloon back in the cowboy days. It'd be sitting right there. Woo!
So this is a Kentucky Straight Bourbon. It is a non-age statement. I don't know how old it is. It's easy to drink. On the palate, it's oily, but then with a dry finish. So it's really enjoyable, really easy to sip on, and it's
I like a dry finish.
About $30. So
oh, nice.
Number 4 on a
around
budget.
There. All right, my number 3 would be the the Gentleman Jack. Gentleman Jack is obviously an American whiskey, but it's in the other, the rival
up
state,
north.
I would say.
Up north.
South.
South?
Yeah, south. Tennessee, south of Kentucky.
Is it?
Yeah.
Down south.
It is Lynchburg, Tennessee, Jack Daniel's Distillery. Gentleman Jack is aged for about 5 years, so not very long, but you definitely get that nice sour mash in your palate and your tongue. It's not as boom in your face like the old number 7 black label that they got. It's good, you gotta mix that one. But the Gentleman Jack definitely brings out a better quality, shows where Jack Daniel's is heading if you want to go any further with the single barrel select and the Frank Sinatra select and all that stuff. So you can definitely find good whiskey in Tennessee.
I like how you say number 7 is good. You just gotta mix it with something so that you can disguise the flavor.
No, old number 7 is definitely, if I were to mix anything, it'd usually be maybe Makers or Jack Daniels. So those are my two mixed.
But straight, that's not.
Old number 7 straight, no. And the thing is, Gentleman Jack is actually $28.49. You can find it roughly. So that's like $8 more than old number 7. I mean, if you find old number 7 for about $20 or so, I mean, that's a steal. It's definitely a good buy. Old Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Old Lynchburg. Coming up at number 3, American whiskey on a budget is going to be another Kentucky Straight Bourbon, and this is Russell's Reserve. Didn't know too much about this until we just cracked it open and used it in our blind bourbon tasting, but it is 10 years aged. The flavors that I get out of this, it's kind of woody with a corn sweetness. Sometimes in bourbon you can really taste the corn.
Oh yeah.
And then hints of butterscotch, and then it's just got a clean and smooth or sweet flavor. Another one that I like because it's kind of easy for me to drink. Some bourbon can be harsh and not fun to drink, and I think this has good flavors but is easy to drink. And it's going to be 45% ABV. And nice. I think it's about $26 to $28 that you can find it for.
Okay.
So again, you're not spending much and you're getting a lot of value. So go try Russell's Reserve. This is also a product from Wild Turkey.
Oh, nice.
So this is from the Wild Turkey Distillery.
Yep. Another one from Lawrenceburg, your good old Wild Turkey 101 falls in my number 2. Number 2! You know what the amazing thing about this is?
This is your first place loser.
It's my first place loser. But you know what is amazing about this and why it had to beat out the ones behind it? It's $21.99. $21.99 for 101 proof. That is 50.5% ABV, folks. It's been aged for about 6 years. And on the palate, you get your typical vanilla and caramel. However, on the long journey down on the finish, I get a spike of mint. A lot of people like Wild Turkey 101 from what I hear.
So number 4 mean? That Brett Favre's?
Barrel char. I don't know if that's
The number 4
barrel? Barrel? Or, I don't know. One of my favorite actors kind of works
Matt
with these
Damon,
guys.
right?
No, actually Tom Cruise. Or Matthew McConaughey. And it's what I'm drinking right now, if you guys were curious. Just saying. What are you drinking?
I will tell them in my number 2.
You're drinking your number 2 too?
I am.
Okay. Okay, real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I must say, I do want to say one thing. I don't remember this exactly word for word, but just hear me out. I thought this was really cool. It comes out of the barrel at 109 proof, but it is only diluted slightly before bottling at 101. Normal Wild Turkey's terrible.
Okay.
I mean,
So it's like the old number 7.
It's not terrible, but it's just not something I'd go out and buy. This is 21 bucks.
So this is like comparable to Gentleman Jack, and the old number 7's comparable to Wild Turkey.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
straight Wild Turkey.
Right. But this is only like a couple dollars more.
My number 2 whiskey on a budget is going to be from the great state of Tennessee, and it is George Dickel number 12.
Right.
Not 12 years age, just the number 12.
Okay,
They go by
okay.
numbers, so they have number 1, number 8, number 12.
They just come out with another one too.
Could be. They do have a rye, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
This is another one where I kind of thought I was too good for it, and I didn't want to spend such little money on something that probably didn't taste good, because I don't like to mix. I want to sip them neat. And I didn't think this would live up to being able to sip neat. But my lovely wife loved the name George Dickel, thought it was funny, and she picked it up for me. I think it was for a birthday or an anniversary, something like that. And I was hooked right away. This offers a heck of a lot of flavors.
Yeah, it does.
Toffee, molasses, you can taste the barrel char, hints of leather, and then just like a pinch of smoke on it too. You can get a little bit of smoke. There is no age statement, which is kind of funny because here it says, back in 1870, George Dickel began fulfilling his dream of crafting the smoothest Tennessee whiskey around. George believed that to make the best whiskey, there was one ingredient that he needed most: time.
Wow.
And they don't list the age statement. But it is believed to be between 6 and 12 years. It's complex, but it's not.
It is.
It's not going to scare someone that's new away either. It's It's gentle.
Yep, it is.
And inviting.
It is. And this is something for somebody new to kind of try too. I think a lot of Tennessee whiskey is, before you get into like the heavy Kentucky bourbon.
One of my favorites, my absolute favorite Tennessee whiskey. So like we said, these lists are subjective to opinion. Obviously, Rob and I don't agree with everything, but we keep it civil, and we respect each other's lists. But
Majority, yeah.
we do agree on our number 1.
We do. We agree on something tonight.
Whew.
And that is Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace is a Kentucky straight bourbon, non-age statement, but it's believed to be aged between 7 and 9 years.
Okay. I have a friend that lives right by Buffalo Trace Distillery, who works there, and he smells it all the time.
It's nice.
Man, that'd be nice. But you can usually find it at about $22.99.
Yeah.
And
great price.
Did you already say the ABV?
No.
45? I'm wrong. 40.
43.
43. It's 43% with a nice little kick that you would not expect. It's definitely really hard to find. I feel like whenever somebody gets it, it's like, boom, gone. I think they got like 100 bottles one time at Total Wine and it was gone in the weekend.
Yeah, all they have to do is post a picture on Facebook. They don't
everybody
even have to
goes
put it
there.
on the shelf. It's just gone.
So we missed that opportunity, but we were able to go to another store and they had a couple there, so that's why we got a brand new bottle here.
It's weird because you hear about Buffalo Trace a lot.
Yep.
But you don't see it a lot.
Right.
And when I was new to bourbon, I knew it was cheap and you kind of heard about it, so no offense to Wild Turkey or any of those, but I kind of grouped it into the Wild Turkey, the Jim Beam, the Jack Daniels, like, oh, it's that low end, cheap,
Right.
probably not good.
Right. Well, for a while, we thought a lot of bourbon was just cheap.
Yeah.
And then we started digging into it. And
Well, we started with Scotch, so we're like,
Right.
well, if it's under $40, it ain't worth buying.
it's not good. So
But bourbon is a lot different than Scotch. A, it's made in larger quantities, and
Yep.
B, it's not aged for as long, so it's a
and
lot
see,
easier
it's
to get.
here, so they don't have to ship it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once we tried it, I was like, I cannot believe how good this is. And for the price I'm paying, this is the best value for your buck in a bourbon, in our opinion. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully we enlightened you on some bourbons that you can buy that are really great sippers for under $30, hopefully in your area. Even if it's higher, it should be still cheap, because if this is higher, the higher stuff's higher,
Yeah.
right? So it's still cheap. Don't forget to like this video. That helps us out a lot. And of
subscribe.
course, subscribe. And of course,
Our Patreon page.
ring the bell so that
and
you
the,
can
and the
be
notification
notified.
bell.
Yeah.
And the Patreon page.
Yes.
Go check that out. Awesome goodies there. And our Facebook group page. And we still kind of mess with the Facebook page a little bit, but go for the group.
I really like the group because we're really interactive
Yeah.
with you guys, and
Yeah,
we can
it's
share
been a lot of
what
fun
we're
this
doing.
past week.
So
And then, of course, you can find us on Instagram and Twitter.
let us know what your favorite American whiskey is on a budget, and we'll converse about it.
Yeah. Let us know what you think about ours.
Don't forget to have a whiskey in one hand, cigar in the other, and good company by your side. And as always, we'll see you soon.